Hello guys, I'm back from another video, and today we're talking about what if Deku never got one for all. So, in the last video we talked about how after he finally gotten back to Japan, he basically yeeted himself out of the boat or the yacht to the surprise of everybody, and not only that, he kind of changed. Even though in canon he looks like a baby-faced, cinnamon roll, in this one he's about like, oh, I don't know, 6 feet, 6 feet, or should I say like 6.5 feet tall, and has several scars, but still, he still has several scars, but still, they're pretty much noticeable. He also has the tattoos that he also gotten from, from the warp spasm, but they're not as noticeable every time when he's not using them. They just basically just disappear. Not only that, his almost baby face looking thing, it's completely changed. It's more like an adult, even though he's still 15. So after he'd taken a taxi, they would go back to, or at least go to like the a city that's next to where he used to live, aka his mother's place. But they were attacked by a villain, as this villain would try to kill Izuku, or at least ransom him. So Mount Lady arrived and tried to save Izuku, and also Mirko would also try to save Izuku, but he was kind of pissed off at the villain, and so used Guy Bolga to basically impale his leg. Ow, it just turned into basically like a, how do I say this? Yeah, a pretty ugly hedgehog. So now his foot is just basically damaged beyond repair, I meant. So, after doing that, the media would also took in a picture of him, but they couldn't see his face because of a hoodie that he wore. Now that the heroes that were basically trying to save him, aka Mount Lady and Mirko, were arguing on why or how they didn't save him. Or not just that, how is he this freaking powerful? So after renting an apartment, he would decide to try and find a job. So he would get a job at a local pizza place, which is disguising itself as a drug cartel that was selling off some Colombian nose candy. And apparently the manager, which his name is Mr. Hatsume, is the father of Mei Hatsume, which he owned. So yeah. So after that he would go back home and fall asleep. So yeah, that's basically what happened last episode. Yeah. So yeah. So let's talk about what happens next. So after Izuku woke up, he would be woken up by an alarm, as he would say this. God damn it. As he would look up at his phone, as it's basically time for him to go back to work, aka going back to work at that pizzeria as a bodyguard. As he would say this, I guess I have to do this. So, after wearing his little, he's just wearing some baggy shirts, more specifically a baggy hoodie and a, baggy, almost ripped up jeans. He's also wearing a face mask as well, because he doesn't want to get his face recognized. Mostly because he basically just hates everybody. Except for those that he, somewhat tolerates. So, after arriving at the scene, he would be told by Mr. Hatsumi that they're going to be going to a certain place. In this case, a place that's filled with so many clients, to say the least. So, after being told of this, they would go on to the truck as they started going towards that part of the city. Specifically, a harbor. So, after getting to that harbor, they would be greeted by a gang leader, as he would say this. So, you got the stuff? As one of them would say this, being Mr. Hatsube. Yes, I have that little stuff that you asked for, the Colombian nose candy. As he would say this. Good. Hey, how about you? As Izuku would perk up, as he would say this. I never seen you before. As he would say this, oh, because I'm new here, I decided to work for him. As he would say this, hey, why not just show yourself, or at least, like, let the light, illuminate you or whatever, because you definitely seem suspicious. As he would say this, fine. So, after stepping out, he was wearing his brand new, almost like, I guess you could say it's a vigilante costume, if you can, like, squint at it a little. I mean, he's technically a villain, but still. He's just doing it for the money for now. So he can just, like, sustain himself. So, allow me to show you what he looks like. After showing himself into the light, everybody would say this. Whoa, you look terrifying to say the least, says the gang leader, as he would say this. Thank you, I guess. As one of them would say this. Hey, boss, does he have a quirk or something? As he would say this. Just let me check. As his eyes would start glowing a almost, golden color, as he would say this. Wait, you're quirkless? As everybody would start laughing, except for him, aka Mr. Hatsumi, as Izuku would be reminded of him being bullied by Bakko, being told that he was quirkless. As he would say this, really, you decided to let yourself join this group? Kid, sorry, but you're going to die very soon. As he would say this, oh really? As Hatsumi or Mr. Hatsumi would say this, Kid, please calm down. And besides, we're just gonna be dealing with them for now. And if they decide to try and attack us, I'll gladly let you. As he would say this, oh, don't worry. I'm not pissed off or anything like that. As he would start looking a bit kind of mad. As he would say this, being the guy. Oh, come on. Quirkless people ain't that bad. As one of them would say this, being the boss. Really? As he would say this. Yeah, I mean they're good meat shields. As all of them would start laughing again. As Izuku would start feeling even more pissed off. As one of them, or more specifically, the gang leader would say this. Hey kid, why did you even decide to join this little group? Besides, you're just gonna die soon. I mean, what if you get into a shootout? Or get burned? Or frozen? Or maybe even beaten to death? As Izuku would be super pissed off. As Mr. Hatsume would say this. Izuku, please calm down. And don't worry. Maybe we can... As Izuku would just say this. Pissing me off. Just because I'm quirkless? Oh, you certainly pissed me off a lot. As he would start leaning back, as he would summon out Gaibolga, as he would throw it at the gang leader, as several spikes would come out of him, as he would say this, the hell? As he would grab the spear, being Izuku, and ripping it off him, as he would bleed from every orifices, or at least every single, like, hole would start to bleed, as he would fall to the ground, as everybody would say this, oh shit, as they start getting out all of their guns and using all of their quirks, as Mr. Hatsumi would say this, Izuku, why did you do that? As he would say this, they were pissing me off. As he would say this, but still we're surrounded, and besides, you, whatever the hell that thing is, it's not a normal weapon. Then, wait a minute. You said that you were Irish, right? As he would say this. Yeah, so. As he would say this. Don't tell me that you've been training against like a hero or something. As he would say this. I guess you can say that. As he would start becoming a little bit more mad. As he would say this. You're all gonna fuck out here. Except for my boss. After all, he does have a child, and I don't want to have that child be left alone without a father. So, ready to die? As his spear would transform into a sword, as he two hands. He would start using it like two-handed style. As you'd start slashing everybody, killing them in an instant. When they tried to use their quirk, it would never work. The sword was like nullifying all of their quirks, almost like Asta in his anti-magic sword. He would cut everybody down, letting blood spill all over the room, as he would say this. And never, ever laugh at me! As he would start, his eye would start turning from a greenish, almost nice-like color into a blood red, almost dark-like color, as he would say this. Anybody that dares laugh at me for being fucking quirkless, they will just die. As for Mr. Hatsumi, he would say this. You're strong, and what the hell? As he would say this. Who the hell are you looking at? As he would say this. Anyway, because of your actions, we should probably just leave. After all, I think the police are basically coming in very soon. As Izuku would say this. Agreed. So, they would go back onto the truck as they would go back home. So, wait for a second. As Mr. Hastame would say this. Thank you, Mr. As he would say this. Izuku. Say this. Thank you, Mr. Izuku. As he would say this. It's no problem. And why are you even thanking me? I basically killed your employer. As he would say this. Oh, I don't really mind it. Besides, he kinda pissed me off as well. And I was thankful for you to killing him. So, what do you want to do with your life now, ever since now my drug dealing is starting to, run a bit cold? As he would say this. I may be planning to become a vigilante. As he would say this. Wait, you want to become vigilante? As he would say this. Yeah. I mean, I am quirkless, so... As he would say this. That sounds quite inspiring. Like, underdog, fighting against these stupid, false heroes, and these villains. Huh, that sounds quite interesting to me. Now, I also wanted to ask, because of my drug dealings now becoming a little bit stale, I may be planning to go back onto the black market. Maybe sell some information. Thanks to my daughter's little help, to say the least. As you would say this. Really. As you would say this. Yeah. After I heard the DOA about this kid, I think his name was like Bakugo Katsuki or something like that. As Izuku would hear that name as he would say this. Bakugo Katsuki, eh? As he would say this. Do you perhaps know this Katsuki man? As he would say this. Yeah, I do remember. As he would tell him what he did to him. Except for the part where he basically just like ran away and gone to Ireland. As he would say this. That sounded horrible. I guess that's why you decided to move away to Ireland. Oh, as he would say this. Yeah. That bastard believed that all quirkless people are weaker, including those that are beneath him, calling them extras. I'm going to make him pay 1,000 times more. Maybe even breaking him. Maybe even taking away his stupid ass quirk. As he would say this. Wait, are you able to do that? As he would say this. Maybe. But... Anyway. It's nice talking to you. I mean... It was a fun few months, I guess. Working with you, I guess. As he would say this. Well, it's my pleasure. After all, I think my daughter is starting to become even more interested in you. As he would say this. What do you mean by that? As he would say this. Oh, actually, no. I would not let my daughter be exposed like that. Anyway, You can leave it or whatever. Maybe we can even meet again. Maybe even have a party. As you'd say this. Maybe bring in some pepperoni pizza or something like that. As you'd say this. Hmm, very well. So, after he left the restaurant, he would decide to try and find another job. As he would also say this. Huh, maybe because I'm going to become a vigilante, I could probably get some money from that. Maybe like stealing from those villains or something like that. Even low level thugs. Hmm, now that sounds interesting. So, after getting back home, he would sleep as it's the next day. So, he was planning to go to a gym so he can maybe exercise a little bit to not get a bit rusty. So, after finding a somewhat normal gym, which, after hearing that this gym is actually permitting quirks, which is actually funded by the Heroes Association as well, so he would go in as everybody would start looking at him, seeing his, toned muscles and his tall figure. Everybody's just like looking at him, as one of them would say this. Whoa, hey, man. As he would say this. As he would say this. Damn, you look strong. Hey, hello there. Are you new here or something like that? As he would say this. Yeah, I just arrived here. And I'm looking for a place to exercise a bit. I don't want to get rusty. As he would say this. Cool, and by the way, I wanted to ask if you have a quirk. Because we usually have some important things about quirks, like for example, in case of your quirk malfunctioning, or as you would say this, being Izuku. Oh, don't worry, I'm quirkless. As you would say this. Quirkless, eh? Hmm. Because you're quirkless, I guess that's why you look so muscular. Maybe to try and fight off those damn, people that think you're weak, right? As you would say this. Exactly. As you would say this. Alright, just say your name and as you would say this. The name's Izuku. Izuku Satanta. As you would say this. Satanta? That's a weird ass last name. As you would say this. Well, I did move to Ireland at one time, so... As you would say this. You moved to Ireland? As you would say this. Yep, I kind of, decided to train there for a while. And that's how this big figure. As you would say this. No kidding. I mean, you look absolutely strong. You're like an Irish god. As you would say this. I guess you can say that. As he would say this. Anyway, you can go over there. You can do whatever you want. As he would start going on the treadmill and starts, doing his workout. Doing several push-ups and many other things like that. Until a person would arrive. Or should I say two people would arrive. As every single boy in the gym would basically perk up. As they would start gawking at these two girls. As Izuku would say this. Ugh, what the heck is going on? As he looks over, as he would see Mount Lady and Mirko in the gym, as every single guy is just like instantly drooling. Just imagine a room full of like Minetas. That's basically what you get, but they're much more muscular and probably stronger. And probably don't have that ball quirk or whatever. So, wait for a second. So, after they basically arrived into the gym, Izuku would see that it's not midnight, I meant Mirko and Mount Lady. Every single guy is basically just like perking up, and as for Izuku, he would just go like, great, it's them, the ones that believed that I was weak. As he would still keep doing some push-ups, and one of them would recognize Izuku, being Mirko, as she would say this, you! As he would look over as he would say this, wait, me? As every single guy just like starts glaring at him, as he would say this, you're the guy that destroyed that villain's leg! What the hell did you do, and what the hell is your quirk? As he would say this, I think you might be misunderstanding this. As she would say this, don't lie, and I clearly saw you that you had the quirk. That spear-ass quirk or whatever. As he would say this, sorry, but I'm quirkless. as she would say this. Don't you dare lie. As one of them specifically, Mount Lady would say this. Hey Mirko, we're kind of causing a scene and besides, hello there. As he would say this. Oh, hello. As she would say this. By the way, how old are you? I mean, you're pretty tall. And she would kind of whisper it under her breath. You're actually kind of hot. As he would say this. Oh, I'm technically 15. As both of them would just go like, what? As he would say this. Well, I think it's because of the training that I did. As Miracle would say this. Why you? You're lying. As she would jump over as she would get ready to kick Izuku, as Izuku would grab her leg. As she would say this. What? How did you? As Izuku would say this. Never underestimate me just because I'm quirkless. As he would basically push her down to the ground. Not really push her, more like throw her down to the ground. As the guards would say this. Hey, stop. Please stop fighting. As Izuku would say this. Sorry, but they started it, so... As both of them would just look over and see two heroes, as they would say this. Sorry, but sir, maybe next time please don't cause, as he would say this. Fine, I guess it's kind of my fault. As Miracle would say this. That's what you deserve. Ow, it hurts. As Izuku would say this. Maybe try not underestimate me just because I'm quirkless and I didn't lie about my age. Just look at my card. As they would look as his ID would say that he's 15. They would just say, what? How are you 15? As he would say this. I guess it's a growth spurt and probably just my looks changing a little bit. As he would say this. I should probably go back to my cardio. So, after moving away from them, both of them would basically start looking at Izuku, basically exercising. As one girl, specifically one of the girls in the gym, would say this to, Mount Lady. Damn, even though he's young and also quirkless, he's quite hot. As she would say this. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty young, but for some reason, I kind of feel attracted to him. As Mirko would say this. Are you for real? As she would say this. Why? As she would start looking at her, as she would say this. No, I mean, I can appreciate that type of body, but I'm not actually attracted to him like that. As she would say this. Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe. As she would say this. Whatever, let's just continue. I really need to burn off all of these calories that I had. As she would say this. No kidding. So, after doing their exercise, they would get a call that there's apparently villains on the run. Apparently, a gang is starting to have a shoutout. Not really a shoutout, more like a shootout. Which basically they're just like shooting at each other in a neighborhood nearby. Not really a neighborhood, it's more like, actually, what do you actually call these types of buildings? You know those one of like, these really old, and I mean old, like apartment, complexes that are made just mostly made out of like, stone and are now basically filled with graffiti and also some like criminals, gangsters, and probably delinquents. Just imagine that. That's basically where they're fighting. After being alerted to this, both Mount Lady and, Mirko would start going out to try and stop it. Izuku would perk up as he would say this. Now that sounds interesting. I've been waiting to do this for a while now. As he would crack his neck, as he would leave his, workout, as he would go back to his apartment to get his hero costume. Not really hero costume, it's more like a vigilante costume. As he would say this. I should also bring out this brand new rune. Because I've been learning a bit about runes for a while now, and I've been looking forward to use this. After all, I really wanted to use magic for a while, and this spell is gonna be my greatest thing ever. He would kind of laugh as he would grab it, putting it in his pocket as he would start moving out. So, in the broken down, in the broken down, apartment complex, they would hear gunfire. I meant gunfire. I meant gunfire. As they would hear just like several bullets just like coming out of the, apartment complex as several people would try to get into record all of that. But several policemen were basically telling him or telling all of them to get out. As for the heroes, they would go in and Mount Lady and Miracle would arrive. But also Izuku. Izuku's just jumping through rooftop to rooftop as he would see the apartment complex, jumping through a building as he would jump into a used to be apartment room, which is filled with shit and dead animals. Even rats don't even want to stay there, even fucking bugs. As he would say this, yeesh, this place is disgusting. As he would feel his hair, as his hair is covered in this brown thing. As he would say this, please be mud, please be mud, please be mud. As he would just like smell it as he would say this. It's not mud. Oh, god damn it. As you would see a pool of water, which he would decide to use it. As you'd say this, God, it's disgusting. Anyway, so this must be the place. As you would see more of the gang using more guns and also using some of their, best quirk users. As they would see the boss of one of the gangs and another being the other boss. As he would say this, so, you're running on our turf, you little shit. As he would start creating flaming wings, as one of them would say this, damn, boss is really pissed. As the other guy would say this, why you? As he would start sprouting out bullhorns, as he would get several, and I mean several arms, about 6 arms now, as he would start charging at him, as their clash would be interrupted by Mount Lady and Mirko. They would also go into the fray, as Izuku would say this. This is going to be annoying. Boop. As he would grab onto the railing, as he would jump down, creating a massive crater, as every single, low-level, grunt of that gang would basically just, fly away. Like Team Rocket style. And I mean both of their gangs, lowest members there. They would just, blasting off again! So, the only ones that are left are Mirko, Mount Lady, and the 2 leaders of their specific gangs. As the 6th armed one would say this, who the hell are you? As the Phoenix one would say this, yeah, who the hell are you? As Mirko would say this, what the? Who are? As for Mount Lady, she would say, what the? Are you a vigilante? As he would say this, yeah, I guess you can say that. The name's Kukulin. As he would grab his spear as he would say this, now, it's time for you to pay with your lives, you damn villains. And as for you heroes, if you don't want to die, then run. As they would say this, oh no you're not. As Mirko would start charging in, as he would grab the leg of Mirko as she would say this. What? What? As she would be thrown away, well, basically just put down by getting, slammed onto the wall and basically getting knocked out. As Mount Lady would say this, why you? As she would start growing to immense size as he would say this. I don't really want to hurt a lady, but unfortunately, as he would grab his spear, as he would change it into a sword, he'd say this, guess I'll have to do this, as he would start slicing her body, causing several scars to appear, as she would fall down because of blood loss. As the 2 guys would say this, who the hell are you? How did you defeat them? Either you're, as you would say this. Unfortunately, you're going to not live for long. And the name's Satanta. Actually, just call me by my vigilante name then. You can call me Kukullen. As they would say this, whatever the fuck your name is, I'm gonna kill you. As the other guy, or the other, gang member, or gang leader would say this. Yeah, me too. I guess we can just, look down our differences for now, so I can take you and burn you alive. As the bull, horned and eight-armed one would say this. Yeah, I'm going to rip you apart with every single part. I'm gonna make your heart scream. As he would say this. Really? Very well then. As he would grab Mount Lady and throw her away so she won't get crushed by one of the, gang leaders. The gang leader with the almost phoenix-like quirk would start shooting out flames. As he would say this. Damn, he's strong, but not strong enough. As he would use his blade to block the flames, as it would be repelled back to him, getting slashed right in the face, as he would say this. My guy! Why you? As the bull-headed, not really bull-headed, more like the bull-horned one would say this. You little, I'm gonna crush you. As he would start charging in at him like a typical bull in Spanish bullfighting, as you would say this. So what am I supposed to do? Grab a red cloth or something and say ole? As he would say this. You insulting little, as he would say this. Sorry, but, as he would slice one of his legs off, as he would say this. As he would fall and tumble to the ground. As he would say this. You little bit, ow, ow. As he would say this. I think that's enough. I guess it's time for me to show you my trump card. As they would say this. Trump card. As he would say this. Now, let the burning, let the sacrifice begin. As he would put his, hand down. As he would grab his rune from his pocket. As you use it. As it starts glowing. Glowing this almost fiery red. As he would say this. Now, burn my enemies. Burn everything. No mercy. Now, let's do this. Let's do this. Now come forth. As he would scream this. He would say, we're coming! As a gigantic man made from straw, as it starts coming out of fire, as he would grab both of the gang leaders, as they would put them both into its almost cavity-like chest, as it would be locked. What do I mean by this? It literally has a door, so when they tried to break out, it was almost like they're trying to fight steel. Like, they couldn't even get out. It's like this thing is canceling out all of their quirks. And for their bodies, they would start turning back to normal. As they would start getting burned alive by these flames. Even the Phoenix guy would say this. Even my flames, they're not even working. What the hell are you? As he would say this. I guess you can say that I'm a true hero. And as for both of you over there, as he would look over and see Miracle still awake, as she would say this. How did you beat me? Ow. As he would say this. I'm usually not the type to give mercy to heroes, but here. As he would throw a runestone at her, being a healing one, as you would say this. Put that up to your friend's, body. And as for you, you can just as he would grab his own runestone, as he would heal her, as she would say this. Ow, ow, what are you doing this? Why are you even helping us? as he would say this. I'm not really the type of guy to kill a girl, so... And besides, I don't want to kill people. I just want to show hope to people. I just want to become a hero just like you. But unfortunately, I can't. Because I'm in a different path now. As she would say this. What the hell do you mean by that? As he would say this. Oops, sorry, but I'm gonna be leaving. Just put that stone up to your friends, well, body parts, or at least the ones that were scarred by me, and she'll be healed no time flat. So, see ya. As he would use the spear to jump away, almost like Sun Wukong. If you don't know who Sun Wukong, you can basically guess who he is, just because of like the media influence that he basically gone over the years. So, as for the two gang leaders, the weaker man, or the thing that Izuku summoned, would be turned to ash, and as for the villains, they would just be skeletons. So, the media would be, well, terrified, but not only that, interested in this brand new vigilante, which, when they heard that, what is Mirko's? Hearing that Mirko, the number 6 hero, basically was defeated by this new vigilante, which she does know his, well, hero name, or at least his vigilante name, which was called Kukulin. Everybody would just be excited knowing that there's this new vigilante that killed those villains, but most all of the media would picture him in a bad light. But for some, they would be inspired. Including one man. He was finishing watching the news as he would be killing this fake hero. As he would say this, "Please stop! I just want to live!" As he would say this kid, this man, he's a great man. I want to meet him. I will surely meet him if we encounter a villain or a hero that was fake. And as for you, you fake hero," as he would slit his throat, as he would say this, "because I am a stain of, wait for a second, because I'm a stain on society, a stain, and I shall be the cleanse. I shall cleanse this world of fake heroes." Just like that man. The debut of that Kukulin man. That Kukulin vigilante. I hope we meet. So, this is gonna be the end of this episode. So, this is actually a pretty long one. So yeah, this is going to be the end of this episode, and so, I hope you liked the video, comment and subscribe, and hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye!